Alright, hello everyone. Tim here. Today I'm going to be playing Deus Ex Revision, which is a fan update tweak of the original Deus Ex from 2001, I believe. And the reason I'm playing this today, well, there are two reasons. One, the new game, Mankind Divided, is coming out very soon, and two, I've only ever played about halfway through this game, which took me 2 attempts, because this game is, I don't know how to put it, it's challenging, and it hasn't aged too well in some ways, which makes it kind of frustrating, but this time I'm intending fully to play all the way through with the whole thing on YouTube. So, now here in character creation, there are things that your first time playing you would not know, which is what skills to take and what level to take to get them to. I know that now, and now I know you want rifle. It's tempting to even upgrade this another time, but I'm not going to, because medicine is also a really useful one. And so is lockpicking and electronics, which are going to be the next two I take. I think I'll go with electronics first, lockpicking next. So, yeah, I have a general idea of, like, all the skills I'm going to take. But, okay, so there's a cutscene coming up here, so I'll let you enjoy that.
Your appointment to FEMA should be finalized within the week. I've already discussed the matter with the senator.
I take it he was agreeable?
He didn't really have a choice.
Has he been infected?
Oh yes, most certainly. When I mentioned that we could put him on the priority list for the ambrosia vaccine, he was so willing it was almost pathetic.
This plague, the rioting, is intensifying to the point where we may not be able to contain it.
Why contain it? Let it spill over into the schools and churches. Let the bodies pile up in the streets. In the end, they'll beg us to save them.
I've received reports of armed attacks on shipments. There's not enough vaccine to go around, and the underclasses are starting to get desperate.
Of course they're desperate. They can smell their death, and the sound they'll make rattling their cage will serve as a warning to the rest.
I hope you're not underestimating the problem. The others may not go as quietly as you think. Intelligence indicates they're behind the problems in Paris.
A bunch of pretentious old men playing at running the world. But the world left them behind long ago. We are the future.
We have other problems.
UNATCO?
Formed by executive order after the terrorist strike on the statue. I have someone in place, though. I'm more concerned about Savage. He's relocated to Vandenberg.
Our biochem corpus is far in advance of theirs, as is our electronic sentience, and their ethical inflexibility has allowed us to make progress in areas they refuse to consider.
The Augmentation Project?
Among other things, but I must admit that I have been somewhat disappointed in the performance of the primary unit.
The secondary unit should be online soon. It's currently undergoing preparation and will be operational within 6 months. My people will continue to report on its progress. If necessary, the primary will be terminated.
We've had to endure much, you and I, but soon there will be order again. A new age. Aquinas spoke of the mythical city on the hill. Soon that city will be a reality, and we will be crowned its kings. Better than kings. Gods.
So yeah, in case you can't figure it out, they're the bad guys. Just throwing that out there, in case you didn't realize.
Heads up, JC. Your brother Paul is on his way to meet you at the dock. The NSF is raiding the island and shots have been fired. I repeat, find Paul. I will monitor your situation from HQ.
So, for those of you unfamiliar with... No, never mind.
Paul, I thought you were in Hong Kong. Welcome to the Coalition, JC. I might as well start using your code name. Think I'd miss my brother's first day? Didn't think you'd have a choice. What's going on? The NSF. They hit one of our shipments. A few of them got away, but we trapped the rest in the statue. What are we waiting for? Looks like a textbook assault. The NSF took one of our agents hostage. The bots are holding the perimeter, but my orders are to hold back and send you in alone. I think someone high up wants to see how you handle the situation. All I've got with me is a pistol and an electric prod. I don't mind a test, but UNATCO better issue some hardware. Remember that we're police. Stick with the prod. It'll stun your opponents or knock them unconscious. A non-lethal takedown is always the most silent way to eliminate resistance. Just in case, though, Manderley wants you to pick an additional weapon. A sniper rifle, a GEP gun, or a mini crossbow.
I'm gonna go with the sniper rifle, because that thing is amazing.
I like to pick them off from a distance. I'll take the rifle. This isn't a training exercise, JC. Your targets will be human beings. Keep that in mind. I get the idea. What's the first move? I'm going to give you a map of the island. If you can get to the North Dock, a UNATCO informant will give you a key to the statue doors. He responds to the code phrase, iron and copper. You could avoid a lot of fighting, though, if you found a back way to the statue. I'll see how it looks on shore. Your primary objective is the makeshift command center the terrorists have installed at the top of the statue. But don't forget about Agent Herman. We think he's being held on the ground floor. What are my orders when I reach the command center? Interrogate the leader. We don't yet know why the terrorists would risk an open assault.
One thing I forgot to mention, I am playing with something called the Biomod, which reworks some gameplay stuff, especially augmentations and skills. It also includes a mod called Shifter, which, and between Biomod and Shifter, there's some more weapons and stuff added. Also, this is sort of like a stealth shooter, play it how you want to type of game.
If you want to make a covert approach, remember the Academy's stealth course. Stay out of their field of view, walk slowly to stay quiet, and crouch behind cover. Or if you have to get your hands dirty, remember that a headshot is a lethal takedown.
Okay, so we're gonna have to wait for that guy, which is extremely boring, but, oh well. So, yeah, as I was saying earlier on the dock, Deus Ex, sort of like a stealth action, very, very open-ended type of game. Like, you can analyze a situation and go about it however you see fit. And all the skills you take, because there are pretty heavy RPG elements in this. I mean, well, relatively for a shooter. People nowadays, they hear shooter with RPG elements, they think like very minor upgrading things. The RPG elements in this are much more advanced than that, but they're not like, you know, Morrowind or something. It also is, in fact, cyberpunk, which is something I absolutely love. In the second episode of the Insomnoids podcast, I talked about cyberpunk for a bit. It's one of our topics, which shouldn't be out by the time I upload this, unless I have some kind of
Be careful.
error.
The NSF has set up patchwork security systems here.
This is also a game with quick saving, which is kind of mandatory, although the Biomod does add checkpoints, which is nice. So, either way, I don't want to have to replay, like, you know, a long period of gameplay, but I'll try to keep it to a minimum. So, we're infiltrating Statue of Liberty complex. And there are these terrorists, part of an organization called NSF. So at this point in the story, all we know is that they're stealing some vaccines that we're going to learn about in a minute here. And, yeah, I'm not fully on board with the whole not completely non-lethal stealth gaming. I mean, I think it's great and all, but I don't think, like, going completely non-lethal is worth doing it unless it's, like, just for the challenge. I wouldn't do it in, like, a Let's Play or something. But this game also had a pretty big influence on Dishonored. That sort of borrows the whole super open-ended stealth formula from this. Although this is much more of a action game in addition. Although you can play Dishonored mostly combat if you want. It's not like intended. And like I was saying earlier, you can pick this game up for about $10 on Steam. You can also buy the newer game, Human Revolution, which I have an easier time recommending to people because of how much more modern it feels. But, I mean, this game, the first one, is better. It's just a question of, you know, enjoyability here in the modern age. Because, as I said, this game hasn't aged too well in some respects, which Biomod and Revision do help with. But, yeah. So this game is broken up into several chapters, the first of which is here in New York. I'm not too fond of the first chapter, but, I mean, it's still good. It's just not as good as the later chapters, like, especially Hong Kong. Hong Kong is possibly the best, at least the best of what I've played. Come on, buddy. Oh, wait. That's right. Oh, wait. So now. So yeah, if you played a stealth game like Thief or Dishonored, you're familiar with the leaning. Yeah, same as in that. This might be a really stupid idea, but I'm gonna go here.
They found us.
Ah,
Stay cool. The guy's still around. I swear I heard something.
dang it. That's right. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, crap, no ammo. Ooh. Yeah, I'm gonna...
I'm hit.
Yep, I'm dead. Well, okay. I think that's a pretty good place to leave it for the first episode. So that's what I meant when I said this game was, like, really, really hard and unforgiving. This is... I mean, it took me a while to die, but just, like, the quantity of them, and it doesn't arm you very well, especially in the first chapter. So, yeah, I'll see you guys next episode. Thank you for watching.